Tonight on Newsbeat, a shooting at an ICE facility leaves multiple dead in Dallas.
If we're dying, let them have some hope.
How Louisiana residents are fighting for their health and the future of free speech on campus. All that and more, Newsbeat starts now. Evening and welcome to Wednesday Newsbeat. I'm Erica Howard.
And I'm Jaden Cotton. Welcome in. One person is dead and two more injured after a shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. Authorities say the gunman fired shots indiscriminately into the facility earlier this morning from a nearby rooftop before shooting himself. One detainee was killed in the shooting while two others remain in critical condition at Parkland Hospital. No officers were shot. The FBI believed the shooting was targeted after finding bullet encasings with an anti-ICE message. Vice President J.D. Vance condemned the attack as politically motivated during a speech in North Carolina.
You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
This is a developing story, and our thoughts are with those affected.
Communities in Baton Rouge are facing environmental issues head-on, and some are searching for ways to fight back. Danielle Rancifer has more on the fight for the future.
For decades, Baton Rouge has faced the issue of air pollution. The city houses more than 150 chemical plants, and a recent State of the Air report ranks the city number 42 in the nation for the worst air pollution. For some, these may just be statistics, but for others, they are a way of life.
Every other day, there's some kind of chemical leak that's coming out here in our community. We can't sit in the yard in the afternoon too much because of all of the smells and the fumes that's coming over into our homes.
Cebelle White Thomas, a resident of the Dixie community, has lived just across the street from the Exxon chemical plant since 1966. The Dixie community is part of a region known as Cancer Alley, and White has seen the devastating effects of the plants firsthand.
My husband died with lung cancer. All of the men on the street have died with lung cancer. And now I've had 4-stage cancer.
Despite this, Cebelle and her community keep the faith. In return, they have one request.
If we're dying, let them have some hope.
Now, the Dixie community is just one small part in a much bigger picture of environmental issues here in Baton Rouge. Now, while the situation may seem overwhelming to some, others have chosen to take change into their own hands. Just 9 minutes away, a local organization known as Baton Rouge Green is doing their part to provide hope. They aim to make change through a simple motto, improving lives through trees.
That is partly because it is all of our quality of life is tied, really, frankly, to our canopy, or a great part of it. By using that method and being focused in that area, we're combating it directly on the ground here.
Along with planting trees, the organization partners with the city as part of a green initiative. Roberts believes that change for the whole community can start in your backyard by doing things like planting native species and not using harmful chemicals. Reporting for Tiger TV, I'm Danielle Rancifer.
To find out how to support Baton Rouge Green's missions and do your part to better the environment, visit BatonRougeGreen.com. Back here on campus, Jaden, hoop season is officially happening.
That's right, Erica. An LSU men's basketball team is returning to the floor Wednesday afternoon for the first practice of the 2025-26 season. Head coach Matt McMahon will look to bring the Tigers back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2022, behind the 16th-ranked transfer portal class in the country. The Tigers only returned 2 players in Robert Miller and Jalen Reed, but despite these new faces, McMahon is filled with confidence in his team.
I like the way we've constructed our roster. I like the age and experience. I think when you're at LSU, the goal is always to get to the NCAA tournament and to win games in the NCAA tournament. And so that'll be the North Star for this group.
The Tigers open their season in a little over a month as they gear up for a tip-off against Tarleton State back in the PMAC. From hoops to history, species are being recorded and found daily, and some of the leading research is happening right here at LSU. I went to the Louisiana Museum of Natural Sciences here on campus to get a deeper look at animal history. The LSU Museum of Natural Sciences opens its doors to the public to take a look at animal and environmental history. Each piece on display is carefully curated to make visitors feel as if they are looking at specimens in their natural environment.
Exhibits that you see when you walk through the museum, many of those older exhibits were first put together in the 1950s, about 1955 to about 1959. We have several newer exhibits as well. The specimens in the older exhibits were collected in the early 1900s up until about 1959.
Museum curators use LSU-funded research to create specimens that help uncover the unknown past and shed light on the future of natural sciences.
The role of a curator here in the museum, we have 5 vertebrate curators, is to manage and maintain those specimens. So for example, a preserved snake, if it's well curated, that specimen will last 300 to 500 years.
Behind the scenes, researchers test and analyze natural specimens to make new discoveries. So far, museum scientists have identified a total of 165 new animal species.
Here in the museum, we have a genomics lab where we're sequencing large chunks of the genome of reptiles, amphibians, birds, fishes, and mammals. In some cases, curators and our graduate students are sequencing whole genomes.
While researchers work daily to uncover hidden specimens, the museum invites visitors to explore and learn about scientific history. For Tiger TV, I'm Jaden Cotton. You can stop by the LSU Natural Science Museum in Murphy J. Foster Hall for a closer look at natural history. But next, after the break, an iconic landmark on campus and how its voice may change in the future, and how LSU students are fighting to protect it.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love. Love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back to Newsbeat. With the recent political news regarding public speakers, the First Amendment is being talked about more on campus. Catherine Sherritt takes a deeper look into students' opinions on the matter.
Free speech is the backbone of American ideology. So when it's challenged, it becomes a topic for all parties to discuss.
But I think the majority of people, left or right, tend to believe that free speech is sacred and should be protected at all costs.
In light of recent events, the idea of taking action against what people say opens concerns for all.
I'd like to think as Americans we all value free speech. I think sometimes different parties look at free speech differently.
Luckily at LSU, a place that welcomes free speech in Free Speech Alley, students have an open space to discuss their political opinions.
We have this tradition nationwide within Yale. We take this giant inflatable beach ball called the Free Speech Ball, and we bring it out, here we bring it into Free Speech Alley in front of the student union, and we hold markers. People can come by and take a marker, and they can write whatever they want on the ball.
People are scared to stand out there and say what they think, but we're brave enough to not be, and we take a stand and we take action into what we believe because we're trying to change policy.
These clubs also share words of encouragement to use Free Speech Alley and speak your truth.
And obviously, I'm pretty sure in general at least, there's free speech across the whole campus, but to have a designated place where people can freely present and even advertise their beliefs, I think that's a really profoundly American thing.
So as a student body, feel free to speak your true feelings and let yourself be heard. For Tiger TV, I'm Catherine Sherritt.
Be sure to swing by Free Speech Alley in between classes. It's the perfect place to use your voice. After the break, Tiger TV tears up the dance floor, and we get you the latest scoop on all things Dancing with the Stars on this week's edition of What's Going On.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our everyday.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Welcome back to Newsbeat and this week's What's Going On. I'm Gracie Guillot. Dancing with the Stars is back and I couldn't be happier. The talent on this season is very competitive, but some of my standouts are Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star Whitney Levitt, son of the late Steve Irwin, Robert Irwin, who has quickly become a fan favorite, and social media star Alex Earl. With over 7 million followers on TikTok, she is bringing a lot of attention to the show, and I definitely see her going far. But I thought it would be wrong of me to judge these stars without experiencing ballroom dance myself. So I went into the studio and tried it out. So we are here today with Mr. James Heath. He has been in the ballroom dancing industry for a very long time, and he is going to show me a few moves tonight. So
absolutely.
Let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, perfect.
That's where we get the cha-cha at. So
3,
we have cha-cha, 1.
James has been a certified dance instructor for over 30 years, with a background in many different styles. As a newcomer, I decided to give the cha-cha a shot first. It was challenging to keep up with the footwork, even if it was just for a few steps. But it's no comparison to the celebrities on Dancing with the Stars who only have a few days to learn a full routine.
It's much harder to like remember these routines. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice. Like you don't see it, but they're practicing probably 8 to 12 hours a day, every single day, and it's nonstop. And a lot of my students, we don't go longer than 2 hours before I have to tell them to go home because it's a lot to take in for like 1 hour.
1 and 2, 3 and 4.
After picking up the cha-cha, I decided to try out swing.
Just like,
let's just say I'll have a new perspective when watching Dancing with the Stars every week.
It was so much fun being able to learn a few basics of ballroom dance. Hopefully my standouts make it far into the competition, but I'll definitely be going easy on the stars for the weeks to come. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight's Newsbeat. Until next time, I'm Jaden Cotton.
And I'm Erica Howard. Have a great night.